But yeah, I do really appreciate that this game lets you just get stuff.
It should be standard for every game ever. It's like, especially in the fucking new Donkey Kong games. It's just like, for some reasons, like the old games got this right, but nah, we're gonna make you replay the entire stage to get that one puzzle piece you missed. Fuck you.
Yep, funny.
Because that's so much fun, right? Replaying a bunch of gameplay you already did.
Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that in any game. So I appreciate that this game lets you.
It's just like these fucking developers never learn either. You know what I mean? It's just like, no matter, like, this shit has been going on for fucking years, and not once have any of them ever stopped to think that, hey, maybe we should just let them leave the stage after they grabbed this or that. Like, some games do. Like, I was surprised
to learn that, sometimes you won't know if a game does or doesn't when going into it, and because of the fact that to this day we're still getting games that force you to collect or like redo a whole level just to collect one thing. To this day, we still have that problem. That makes it so that even when you're playing a new game or like any game for the first time, you can run into that issue and not know whether or not you'll be able to just exit a level and have that be that. That's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Because like you either take the risk and maybe have to redo what you've already redone again and the rest of the stage, or you can just play the rest of the stage anyway, possibly for no reason because the game wouldn't have made you to begin with. So I took the risk with this game, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out you do not. I mean, it was kind of obvious with this game because there's no like end of the level, and I highly doubt. My line of thinking was that I highly doubt they'll make you like refight the boss just to go back for a collectible, you know. So yeah, you can quit to the menu so long as you save the game. You can quit to the menu. You can get a game over and press no, even not revive yourself. You keep any collectibles, which is great.
I'm pleased with that revelation. By the way, this thing is creepy.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? It reminds me of something from, like, what the fuck is that show? Like, I think it's All Real Monsters or something? There's, like, a thing with, like, creepy purple lips and a big smile in that show. I don't know,
90s Nickelodeon. Ew.
Yeah, it's 90s Nick, so... It reminds me of that. Not that I really have much to be reminded of. I didn't watch it as a kid, but...
Maybe, because it's just like the shows like that and Ed, and Eddie, which have like these really, let's just say, stylized art direction. Like, always put me off as a kid. I didn't want to watch them because they looked weird.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I didn't watch Ed, and Eddie or Cat Dog or... Rocko's Modern Life, or
and it's just like now
Monsters.
I'm not in the target demographic anymore, so I don't really have any interest in them. One pleasant surprise I did run into is that is the 2003 TMNT show, which is like 4 kids.
Yeah, I remember
TV.
when you were watching that, and you were all like, "Oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen."
I wouldn't go that far, but I will say that people tend to give 4 kids TV. Not undeservedly, a lot of criticism for quote-unquote censoring their favorite anime. but then you watch 2003 TMNT, which they produced from the ground up. And there's like, one of the main characters gradually loses body parts off screen because he keeps failing the shredder. And then by the end of the series, he's just like a head in a jar, and then eventually he's just a brain in a jar. It's really fucked up. And then there's like an episode, like the only one of the few episodes that actually got censored and taken off the air after it was already produced, was the episode where that character gets like a new body and transfers his consciousness to the new body. Like he created a clone of himself to transfer his mind into, but then like he screwed up, and that clone is like melting apart, and parts of his body are falling off, and it's like really creepy. That was a 4 kids show.
Has that been like re-uploaded somewhere that you can watch it?
You can watch it. It's actually a really great episode too.
Huh.
But it's just like they kind of, went a little bit too far that time, so the censors were like, you can't air this, and And to be fair, if I was a kid watching that and I saw someone's fingers melt off,
Jesus, yeah, that'd be a little scary.
I've just received a not satisfying revelation from Mr. Retropolis Zone on Discord that the Jack trilogy on the PS3 runs at 1024 by 720. Get ready for the Catherine music to play, guys, because Mikey's mad.
What is that? 1024?
1024 by 720 instead of 1280 by 720. Oh, it's anamorphic.
What does that mean exactly?
It means that it's rendered at either a wider or narrower resolution than what it's meant to be viewed at.
Oh.
So it means, like, for example, this game, or most games on the GameCube, for example, are anamorphic, or at least they're supposed to be. Like, this game actually fucked it up. Because all 40p games are supposed to be anamorphic because they're 720 by 480 or rendered in a frame within 720 by 480. But this game screws up because it's 640 by 480 within a 720 by 480 frame, so that when you play this on a CRT, everything looks slightly too narrow. But because I'm playing this digitally, I can actually get it in perfect pixels, and the aspect ratio looks right.
Interesting.
But basically, it means that regardless of whether a game is widescreen or 4:3, it'll be rendered at 720 by 480, and is meant to be stretched to either resolution. Or aspect ratio, I mean.
Ugh.
So that means that So Sonic Unleashed has that problem. It's it's like, I think it's like 880 by 720 is what it is, which is like missing 45% of the detail of 1280 by 720p, which is why it looks so blurry and undefined. And apparently the Jack collection on PS3 has the same problem. Though not as bad, it's only missing like 116 pixels or something. Which is still not great. I don't know why it is so hard to render a PS2 game at 720p. But I digress. I guess it's a small price to pay for
PS2 games be like. Bro.
Thank God for PC gaming, that's all I'm gonna say. Alright, Ahbeef.
Now we get to the fun part of the game.
You ready for some goddamn...
Mikey.
Alright, this is the worst level in the game. What the hell is this level called anyway? Like Mount Sneezemore? Or was that from...
Fuck off.
This is the worst stage in the game. Shivering Mountains.
Shivering Mountains, oh, very
more
creative.
Like shit. More like screaming
mountains.
shits.
More like shivering fucking shit.
Shivering succotash. Okay. So here's the problem with this stage. There's these slides. There are gold statue pieces on these slides. If you miss them, you have to replay the entire level in order to try again. But the good news is
now... And you can't see them coming. Even with, like, the camera moved all the way to the right, even if you can see them coming, it's not like you can react in time to get to where you need to be.
Even if you widen the field of view in this game for widescreen, like if you use a widescreen cheat code to force the game to widescreen, even then you can't see it.
Oh, it's so bad. Those are... There's like 3 things in this level. 3 separate instances of having to do that. And one of them, there's an entire section of the level.
Now that I know you can leave the level and come back, that will actually make things a lot better.
Yeah, you can
except for the one at the very end. Except for the one at the very end. That one's not.
You can take the middle. You can take the balloons from the start to the middle to kind of cut down on that, but still. You're still gonna have to replay a chunk of the level and do the slide, and God forbid you miss it on your second try. You have to do it again.
You wanna know what's really interesting about Glover? which is
I'm sorry, it's just a really funny sentence.
what's really interesting about that game is that it actually has a Shadow the Hedgehog-esque feature where you can warp to any checkpoint in the stage you've already reached from the pause menu.
I have nostalgia for that game because I played it at my cousin's house when I was a kid. But like,
I honestly think
I
you'd
know
probably
nothing about
hate
it.
it.
Really.
I have a feeling that if you played it again, you wouldn't like it, and you'd be like, "Axel, why do you like this game? It's so terrible."
I don't know. I feel like I'd be on the Glover Defense Squad. I should give it a try.
Yeah, personally,
It seems
not to
fun.
spoil the cross-platform or anything, but so far I'm going to say N64 is the way to go.
I mean,
But
that's compared to
The
what?
angler
The shit
mangler's weak
PS1
spot
version?
hangs from its noggin. Don't bother punching its face. Attack its buddy, the Barrel Buster, by smacking him in the head when he pokes it out. If you could just force it into the air.
Right, but
But that's compared to what? The PS1 version with like horrible controls?
well, it's what. Like, I have not seen Nitro Rad's review, which I imagine is what
He
you're
brings it
referring
up
to.
and mentions that like you can basically skip everything, like all the interesting puzzles and platforming because the controls are broken in the PS1 version.
See, I 100%ed both of them when I recorded them, so I'll have to do like a casual run or whatever just to test that. But yeah, I mean, like, personally, I do think that the N64 version controls better, which is why that's what I'm leaning towards. But at the same time, there are some things that the PS1 version does do better. Like, there's some bosses where it's not really clear what you're supposed to do. And in the PS1 here's one of our statue pieces down there in the corner.
You can get a little early view.
But it's just like, I've got to like
At
trace
least it's
with
on the
my
same
eyes.
side of the slide, you know? Because on this slide,
All right,
you have to
I
jump
managed
from
to
the
get
right.
that one. And I managed to
get
get
here.
up to the upper level as well, so that.
Okay,
that'll
that's
be
the
good.
thing. There's not only two of the gold statue pieces on two different slides, but there's also an entire section of the level you can't access with like a red crystal, one of the either another heart piece or not Sprixie. What the fuck are they called again?
Spritelings.
Fairy things, Spritelings. It's either a heart or one of those inside the red token room or the red diamond room, and I think 2 treasures up here,
Yeah.
and all of that you can't get to if you miss this slide.
Yeah, I mean, that
That's
to
so
me personally
annoying.
isn't too bad, because it's not like the statue
I mean, it's all
pieces on the
condensed
slide
together,
where you have to be like.
but like you get to the end of the level and you're missing a bunch of shit. I'm like, what the
You-
fuck
you
did I
can
miss?
see the sledge from the slide.
I did not notice it. I went down the wrong path. I went down the bottom instead of the top, and I didn't take the ramp to get to this side. And I didn't even notice the ledge. It wasn't until I went back the second time through and just happened to go along the top side where I just got here, and I was like, oh, great, thanks. Thanks, game.
Yeah, I don't know. Personally, that doesn't. Well, you know, part of it is that I have again played this game many times, so I already knew
And
about
yeah,
this
granted,
area.
some of the stuff that's a little annoying about this game is remedied by just knowing about it beforehand.
Well, yeah, and that's not
There's
an
another one of
excuse or
these.
anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that's why it probably doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
Not,
I mean,
not that it
the-
excuses the problem. That's
it's
just
not
why.
an excuse, but it at least is a solution. It at least has a solution, you know? Whereas, like, other games that have other problems aren't as easily
There are places
remedied.
in the ice caves that are too
If
high
all.
to jump to. Now why don't you try to use the icicle mite somehow? It looks like their pointy heads might just stick right into the floor.
Oh, yeah. Also, good luck figuring that out if you didn't get to this section that you can only get to
Wait,
with
really?
a single
You couldn't
try.
figure that out
I mean,
by yourself?
I figured it out, but the fact that the thing that explains how it works is in
That
A,
is a
different
good
section of the
point.
level,
That probably
and
should
B,
have-
a section you can only get to with a one try thing. before
probably should have been
section?
in the lower area.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
that is a good point. But to, I don't know,
It's not hard to figure
even barring the whole I've played this a bunch of times, I feel like that's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I did figure it out like pretty quickly, but really, come on, Gabe.
Yeah, it should have been in the
Yeah,
lower
you're
path.
done here. You've got everything.
Yeah, I was just double checking because I didn't want to have to come back if I can help it.
Yeah,
I already
God
got
forbid.
lucky with that one slide. Probably won't
Yeah,
with the other
The
ones.
second one is at the bottom part of the slide.
Okay.
So once
Yeah,
you get
but
to that one,
anyways,
just be on the bottom, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it would be. I would be interested to, because it's just like a lot of the problems you have with this game, I feel like are also in Glover. Or the levels can drag just well, I mean, it depends on if you go for all the Garibs and stuff.
Yeah,
but
no, that's true. I remember. So there's a net. There's times that I did play it as a kid. I never got past like the second level because they went on for so long.
Well, not. Yeah, I mean, obviously you were a kid then, but
Yeah, I was a kid as well.
the second level is not too bad. It's more like I'd say by the time you get to like World 5. And even some of the levels in, like, the Pirate World, I'd say, also have some of that, but, yeah. But I don't know, that's gonna be an interesting cross-platform. I've been working on trying to get, like, a PC emulator working so I could play the, Windows version.
Oh, there's a PC version.
Yes. And it's basically... I was expecting it to be a port of the PlayStation version, but as it turns out, it's actually a port of the N64 version.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it has
Also,
the same
I love when
textures.
these things don't spit out a thing that you need.
Yeah, that's a...
It should just be like a specified, pre-specified pattern, you know, like 3 little guys and then a big guy or something.
Yeah. Oh, this one's
Also,
kind of
this
an
one was
interesting
really
room.
annoying. I like spent all this time lining these up, and then got to the very end and missed a jump.
Alright.
So that was annoying. And I had to do it all over again.
I do appreciate how they give you free roam of the camera here, so you can pick the
Yeah.
most optimal angle. Which is,
Yeah, and they use it in some interesting ways.
there's something I cut out of the Unleashed reviews. I thought it was really annoying how the fucking camera on the tightrope sections kept going at an angle. So it's like you have to like walk across this extremely narrow platform, but you can't just turn the camera directly at it and press up on the stick like a normal person would. You
Right.
have to like press it at this precise angle, and it's just like, why?
Ugh.
Nobody wants to go slow to begin with, but it's just like the fact that they add like a bad camera angle on top of it is just like, why?
The thing that's funny about like Sonic games, I think in general, nobody wants to go slow in any game. Like you play like Mario 1, you're holding that run button the entire game.
Yeah.
And it's like, it seems like Sonic would be such an intuitive thing to do. It's just like, take that sense of speed that people like in video games and capitalize on it. And yet they fuck it up a lot, somehow.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Well, you know, it's easy
feel
to
like-
be
but at the same
armchair
time, I feel like-
developers and say,
yeah.
like, I could do better, but it's just like, you know,
No.
I feel like,
I feel like
it's gotta
people
be
are
harder
too
than you
hard
think.
on the games because of their focus on speed. Like people get like more kind of nitpicky about how the Sonic games do that. And
Beware
like
the Faddingtons and the narrow roads, Wario. If they bounce you, you'll fall. It's probably safest to knock them unconscious before trying to get past them.
all these things were annoying. I ended up just like doing a 3D jump around them.
Yeah.
I feel like people are nitpicky with Sonic games, and like anytime a Sonic game does something that like is kind of like more slow, which granted would be annoying in any game, yeah, but I feel like people are harder on Sonic when it does that because of the game's like emphasis on speed.
It's just like, I actually really appreciated, and people are gonna murder me for this, not you, but other people. I actually appreciated that Forces was slower. Because it meant I
No,
could...
I'm coming to your house right now. I'm gonna murder you. Goodbye.
So it's just
Yeah,
like
no,
I
I
don't know.
agree. It's
Feels like a lot of those boost games are just like... Obviously, the whole point of it is to, like, blaze along super fast.
I feel like
but-
Generations had the best balance between, like, letting you go fast, but not, like, you know, doing what Unleashed does.
Honestly, I'm scared to review it, or Generations, I mean, because I feel like I'm gonna play it and be like, it has more platforming than Unleashed, which I appreciate. But at the same time, they didn't bring the double jump back from Colors, and they nerfed the air dash. So it's like,
So is Generations the only one? No, because the double jump was new to Unleashed, wasn't it?
no, the double jump was new in Colors, and then they took it out for
yeah.
Generations, and then brought it back for Lost World and Forces.
Okay.
Oh, and here this
Lost World
guy's
is
telling
such
you,
an enigma of a game.
look at this. Once you clear this area, something useful will appear at the start. Okay, that's not what he said early. He was saying like you might miss something, Wario. If you do, you can go back to the start.
They knew! Oh my god, they fucking knew that you're gonna miss shit on the slide.
Ugh.
Why not just not have the fucking slide? Come on.
Let's just say it's, and then, not to pull this card, and I don't believe it myself, but I do think that is a thing that's not really nearly as annoying if you just play this casually. But then again, the heart pieces are probably the most useful collectible in the game. Those are the ones you'll have the most trouble with, so...
And of course, there's 3 of them that are only accessible via the slides.
Yeah.